we are.
Here we are, back again.
Episode 6.
Episode 6 already, man.
Yeah.
It's been flying, hey?
Our first February episode,
It is.
right?
Absolutely.
We had 5 in the first month.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, listening. This is everybody to listening.
Yeah.
This is Diary of an Indie Band. You are listening to Loops, Kevin Roy, John Fennell.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoy what we have to bring to you this week. We're got a lot of things we're going to talk about. As usual, we're going to start out and talk about our weeks and how it was.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about our upcoming stuff we're working on. We're going to give you top 5s, and we're going to give you our new music. So
Yeah.
right off the pop, like we always do, John, how was your week, buddy?
Let's talk about this past week, man. Well, yeah, no, it was a good week. For everybody who tuned in last week, I was kind of mentioning how I wanted to do more. So I'm super proud on this past week getting so much done, especially later on in the week. We were able to get lots done. Like both Thursday and Friday were just crazy,
Oh, man. Yeah.
jam-packed with meetings and things that we had to get done. So yeah, no, super proud of that. And obviously, you know, looking for gigs is an ongoing kind of thing, but you know, being able to book more is always good.
Exactly.
One of my biggest takeaways from this week is we're able to get our album release party finalized. Everything is, you know, cross the T's, dot the I's. February 25th at the FE Arts Collective for everybody here who's in Kamloops, or if you live in the area, or if you want to come from out of town, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's we are going to be opening the doors at 7:00, an hour earlier than the show normally does. Normally it opens at 8. We're going to open up at 7, and that's so we can have maybe a couple minutes before even 7, but we're going to advertise to open at 7.
Yeah.
And that's so we can have a meet and greet and talk with everybody and just be totally informal, you know, tell people some stories and just chat and just make it fun. Like, it's going to be a celebration of the album. That's the key. That's the point of the whole evening.
Absolutely.
And then around 8:00, our good buddy Jeremy Nishaw is going to go on.
Yeah.
Jeremy's going to be performing actually for about an hour now.
Yeah.
We fine-tuned the show a little bit, and we want to make it the best possible show possible so that we can bring forward. So, yeah, as it is, Jeremy's going to be playing, and he's going to be giving you guys kind of the same kind of vibe as Loops. If you haven't heard Jeremy Nishaw yet, we're going to talk about him a lot over the next few weeks, so you do get to know him, and you know what you're looking for when you come to the show. And at the very least, he's a buddy of ours. He's one of the people we've kind of formed an alliance with over the last couple of years on this musical journey, and we're really aligned on a lot of the same kind of goals and just same sentimentalities on supporting other artists and stuff like that. Jeremy's
Absolutely.
very much like us. You know, he really believes that same saying I say every episode, a rising tide lifts all ships. And
For sure.
Jeremy really believes in that too.
Yeah.
I respect him so much. I can go on about Jeremy for 2 hours.
Absolutely. As could I, you know, it's, you know, I feel like we're super lucky that we've built that friendship with him. So.
Yeah. And we're honored that he was stoked to be a part of the show.
For sure.
He understands the importance for us. He appreciates the opportunity to be a part of a night like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, long end of the short of it is that we're going to start heavily advertising that this week. Posters are going to be up, and we're going to get them everywhere. If you know about it and you already are committed to buying tickets, maybe you already got your tickets for it by the point where you know, next episode comes along.
Mm-hmm.
In between though, this week, if you get your tickets or you hear about the show, you know, say yes on the Facebook event page.
Mm-hmm.
Go and put it on your wall. Spread the word. We are going to have a big chunk of the tickets already pre-designated for certain people that are, you know, important to us. It's our special night. But there is still going to be tickets available for just general public consumption. So
Yeah.
we will have the show sold out. It's just a matter of how quickly. So
Yeah.
ideally, if we can get these tickets sold in the first week or two, and we don't have to be last minute that last week
For
of
sure.
February before the show.
Well, also part of it,
ideal.
I'm pretty sure that I mentioned it last week, but you know, as of right now, we believe that the capacity for the venue is only 50 people, which is their 50% capacity limit.
Yeah, of the max, yeah.
So we might be able to release more tickets later on.
Yeah.
And that might be in 2 weeks, 10 days, or
Yeah.
whenever restrictions kind of ease up. So
But we look at the numbers all the time, you more than me,
Yeah.
for the podcast even. So we know there's actually a growing little core group of you out there that are listening to this.
absolutely.
So if you are one of our ardent supporters that listens to the show all the time, definitely go and get your ticket early, because
Yeah.
we don't want you to miss out on the show. We'd hate it if literally the tickets were sold out and we couldn't have someone important to us come and actually enjoy that evening because they thought, oh, well, I was just going to get it at the door.
Yeah.
We got to get them early. There's going to be an actual event page set up through even the FE Collective page. We were working on one of the things this week is fine tuning our webpage even more. So our webpage is going to have a link on the actual page this week, right on officialloops.com, right on the homepage and under events. And you'll be able to actually get some information, more information on Jeremy, more information about the actual breakdown of the show, and you'll be able to buy tickets right there too. It'll take you on a direct link. So definitely want to give that a little bit of a heads up so people know that's coming. That's going to be a big topic we're going to talk about over the next couple weeks. As for kind of me talking about just things we worked on, one thing I thought was cool, going off of what you had said about last week and wanting to work a little harder. I also had mentioned in that same conversation, like agendas. That'd be a really cool thing. Well, yeah, I actually went out on, I think even Sunday after. It was either after we recorded. Yeah, so we recorded Sunday, Monday. So it would have been Monday, first thing Monday, and I went up and picked up a couple agendas, one for me and one for John. Kind of customized to what we would use it for the year, but got a couple 2022 like hardcover, like nice agendas. Just to, my thought process. I don't know if anyone else can relate with me out there in podcast, listening land, but I find sometimes it's hard for me to stay on top of tasks and doing things like, not tasks in general, but doing like a structured like agenda kind of book. So if I make it something that one, I've invested a little more money in, I didn't just pay $10 for a throwaway little kind of, 3-ring note binder. If I actually have something that I feel I've invested some value in, it will force me to pick it up every day and actually use it and write in it. And you just keep track even on the stuff that we're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Well, even going along with that, even like a step further, I think that that's one of the reasons why I felt so productive this week was because it started off with a bang. First thing Monday morning, John, here's your agenda. You can schedule things exactly as you need. And you know what? I did. Like every single day.
Yeah, you crushed it. Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, yes, I'm writing down all the meetings and yes, Zoom calls and all this kind of stuff. And when we're physically able to go and see people as well throughout this past week, that's been a big thing for us too. But even the things that I'm doing at home, like applying for festivals.
Yeah.
Who am I contacting? Who am I researching this day? And just getting all that kind of data just really helped.
I think it's important. And this is a good thing for life in general, right? Not just making it as an indie artist. But I think it's important just to find what works for you, to maximize your output on whatever you're doing. There's no golden rule, and people will tell you, and people have made millions of dollars selling books and self-help books, and this is the right way to do things and stay structured. There's no set way to do it. You just have to find what is the path that is most efficient for you to get the job done, and use that path to its fullest. Like maximize it though. If you find that, hey, a notebook works really good for me, then get a good notebook and get a nice pen, or do whatever you got to do to maximize that and make sure you're actually really going to use that notebook. Carry that notebook with you everywhere and use the notebook. If the notebook works, if it doesn't work and it works to put things down on someone's cell phone, use your cell phone. Like actually do it. If you find what works, it's silly to not do it at that point.
You just got to find the magic recipe is the thing. But it's not like baking. You don't have to follow it exactly step by step.
Exactly.
It's like cooking where you can just explore and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. So, yeah. And then what else? Oh, our show. Want to talk about our show?
Our show. It was great.
It was,
I think. Like
Go ahead, man.
It's tough because it's almost every single show where we analyze after and say, man,
that felt like the best show ever.
That's the best show that we've ever done. But Friday felt like a cool show. We did a couple different things to switch it up. So, we're more comfortable on stage. I'm going to say mostly me. So I'm a bit more comfortable on stage and can pull my weight even further, because I think that that's like the best dynamic that we have. I think it was a great show. We had a great turnout. We had a couple fun people who came out in the crowd and
we're dancing and stuff.
We're dancing when
a lot actually. Yeah. And then that made everybody else kind of start dancing. So we if any of the staff are listening from Barside Lounge, again, we do appreciate them. Is it Barside Lounge?
It was Barside Lounge. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah. We appreciate that. They know we were doing our best to kind of keep everyone not dancing as much.
Well, and they worked with us there, so they were.
And it wasn't
great.
Because of any trust me, we wanted and some of the people told us since that show, even yesterday, sending messages and this morning to our accounts and just saying, hey, like we loved your show on Friday.
Yeah,
been checking out your podcast. So if you're listening to this and you were at the show on Friday, we wish you guys could have danced all night. Like, it was awesome. There's
Come
nothing
to another
better.
show.
Yeah, there's nothing
when you can dance.
when the dancing is possible. Yeah. There was nothing better than having people singing the songs with you and getting excited and dancing and eliciting like real emotions and reactions out of people.
Absolutely.
So we appreciated it as much as anybody could. But obviously the staff's got a job they got to do too. So that was one thing for me, right? It was that tough spot. And I wanted to share that too, on the podcast, that like, it was tough because I found I wanted everyone to dance and I wanted everyone to have fun and I wanted everyone to really enjoy the evening, which they really were. But then also it was like, okay, but I also don't want the staff to hate us and be like, hey.
Well, to say like, hey, these guys shouldn't come back because they don't know how to control their crowd.
They can't control the crowd and they can't follow the basic rules that we have set out that we have to follow, or we can't have any of. So, and the last thing we ever want to do is cost any other artist in a position like us a gig, because now they get shut down because one rowdy crowd at a loop show.
For sure.
So, and not to say anyone was rowdy.
No,
they
no,
weren't rowdy at all. Not to give the wrong impression here, but people were dancing, and the staff did have to say a couple times, like, "Hey guys, we're sorry, but you guys got to stop dancing."
Yeah.
So we helped out the best we could. We told everyone, we're, we'll all make up for it later when we can. But
absolutely.
That being said, though, the energy was there. The place was busy all night long.
Well, dude, we had record sales that night in terms of merch and album sales and all this kind of cool stuff.
Yeah, we actually we beat our old record at the same location we had done last time too. So we've gotten really good really good chemistry fitting there. And the last time around, we'd made hundreds of dollars from merch sales just at that show. Yeah. And this time we topped it by another 75, I want to say.
I don't know, something
right?
like that.
Yeah, $75 more than the time before. So sold some shirts, sold a sweater, sold what else did we sell?
Copies of the album, water bottles.
Toques. They were the last, like a lot of the last stuff we had.
Yeah.
And that's another thing we're going to be working on next week. We'll get into a little bit, but we're going to be doing some more merch orders and stuff. So.
And we've got some cool special merch that's going to be coming out as well.
That's a little teaser though. We'll mention that at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much covers our week. We had a good meeting on Thursday as well with Doug Cox, our producer. It was actually I can't even say good meeting. It was one of my favorite meetings I've had with anybody. A big thing in this industry is like everybody's always just they got their blinders on and they're all doing their own task. And Doug's as busy as anyone I've ever met in the music industry, period. He has so many pots on the stove. And we don't ever think for a second that we're top priority or we deserve extra attention above anybody else. But all that aside, we hadn't had a chance to talk to him for a few weeks just because of the fact that he had some family and that we're dealing with some COVID issues like we all have at different points. And we just couldn't link up. The schedule wasn't working. So we finally had a chance to long overdue chat with him. And I mean, I can't praise this kind of behavior enough. Like when people give you their time, I think it's the most valuable thing someone can share with you. And when they're invested in it though, and you're not just kind of on a stopwatch and like, okay, I got to go. It's like we got on 2:30 and it was 4:15 when we were done. And that was only because we ended the Zoom call because there was nothing else really to say. We had some goals. We had some things to do. I had to send off a bunch of CDs to him. You had to send off a little prep package that he can send out to a bunch of his colleagues and festivals and stuff, just so people could be more versed in loops and hear from him directly, which is amazing. So we had our task, but I mean, he wasn't like itching to get off the Zoom call. And I can't stress how important that is.
Yeah.
I think these kind of things are the kind of relationships when you foster those kind of connections with people. I mean, it makes it stand out when a lot of people you can barely earn their time. Someone's willing to give it to you like that. I think it's pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, like, we aren't shy to say that, Doug has been the absolute best, mentor that we could have ever asked for, right?
He's incredible. And he said, he's happy to mentor us and do what he can to help us out. And when you have someone with the experience he has, it's just a true gift.
Absolutely.
It's a gift to be able to have that, and we really appreciate it. And I thought that was pretty cool. It was worth mentioning too. That was a big highlight of my week was the time we got to spend with Doug, and just as usual, all the good advice and wisdom he gives us. He just wants the best version of us for us.
Yeah.
Without any benefit to him. He just wants to help us out. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that being said, why don't we move on to, why don't we do our new music this week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that one
cool.
first.
Let's do that, man.
Do you want to go first or you want me to go?
Sure. I'm super stoked to be talking about my artist this week. It's actually our good buddy Pete.
Yes.
Yeah. Peter McMaster is his name, from Victoria, BC. So we've actually had him open for one of our shows when we played down there before, and I thought
In
that
November,
and I thought that I'd play a clip from his debut album, and his song is called Home.
Nice.
So I'm pretty sure we both heard it when he played it.
Yeah,
I think to open for us.
Yep.
So his album's out on Spotify. The song's called Home, and here's a little clip.
All right.
There's a place I know where I go. There's a place I know where things grow. There's a place I know to let you know. But you should come with me and take it slow. You sit around, you look me up and down. I can tell you a thing. All I know is to sing.
Man, it's fun to just listen to it. Like I've listened to it a bunch.
Yeah.
I think Pete is awesome. And I'm really proud he's one of our friends too. We're talking about Jeremy, and Pete's also an ally we've built. And
Absolutely.
to have really talented people like that play a song like that live, like before our show, is really cool. And,
Super cool.
I can't wait till we're on the stage with him again, to be honest. Pete's awesome. I got nothing good things to say. Please check him out. That's really cool you picked him. I didn't know you were going to be picking our buddy. So
Yeah, for sure. Check him out on Instagram as well. Pieces of Peter is his Instagram handle. All just one word, nothing in between or anything like that. No underscores, just Pieces of Peter. And while you're there, also go check out his open mic show. It's called Pete's Variety Show. Same thing, just all one word. That's where I met him, like
3 years ago.
2.5 years ago?
A couple years ago,
Something
yeah.
like that,
Probably 2.5 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years. So 3 years probably this summer is when you were back in Victoria,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure it would have been.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't know, man.
I know.
Something
yeah.
like that, though.
But so he's awesome. Great guy. If you like music and you're an indie artist in the Vancouver Island area and you're hearing this, go to his open mic show. It's one of the best open mic shows I've ever been to in the world. Like
For
any
sure.
place I've been to in any
The first
city.
time that we ever played there, dude,
it was
like the place went crazy.
you mentioned
for
it a couple
original
weeks.
songs.
You mentioned it a couple weeks ago on your top 5.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And that was the show we were referencing at the time. So
Yeah. So go check it out. Pete's Variety Show. His Instagram handle is Pieces of Peter. Yeah.
the song's called Home. It will be on our, obviously, as always, we're going to add it now to the Diary of an Indie Band playlist.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already started following the official playlist of the show, please
sure
do
to
that.
check it
The
out.
only songs on there are loop songs we've mentioned on the show so far. It's only songs we've ever played during our new music segment. So that's kind of the rule. So definitely go check that out. We'd love it if you can get a few new fans. I know a lot of your music tastes that do listen to this. It's right up your alley, obviously, as you just heard right now. So
Yeah.
you'll really enjoy them.
Absolutely.
Cool.
That being said, I want to hear what you got this week,
All right.
dude.
So mine is from an artist that we don't know personally. They're
Okay.
called the Evil Tongues. They reached out to us on our dib@officialloops.com email address just to pitch us their new song that just came out last week called Fine. Fine. Like, I'm fine. Like that word.
Cool. Yeah.
So fine. Their Instagram handle, I'll give it to you first really quick, and I'll give it to you again at the end. It's at Evil Tongues, just like it sounds. EVILTONGUES. They are, I think, they relatively just started up fairly recently. And I think that's pretty awesome that we can actually help and elevate in any way artists that are in the same kind of boat as us. If you actually kind of read their artist profile, they got a really kind of cool vibe to them. I'll give you guys even just a little bit of background on them.
Go for it.
if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
So this is their write-up on Spotify. I'm going to read it to you guys
I like it.
because I think it sums them up better than any other write-up I've come across so far for artists that have pitched us or artists that we've dealt
Cool.
with.
Yeah.
I like it, and I want to give them the credit and the respect that having the time and thought put into a
Went
really good
into it,
write-up
yeah.
deserves.
Yeah.
So, and shout out there for anybody else. put that time into it because it catches you. Look at me as a perfect case in point. This is our 6th episode. This is the first time I felt the
Look
urge
at
to
me,
read
guys.
someone's. Well, I just mean this is the first time I've ever felt the urge to read someone's Spotify write-up.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
Evil Tongues has developed a gritty, cinematic, 80s inspired sound that aims to captivate listeners with soaring anthematic melodies and raw personal lyrics. Fine is about your world collapsing around you and the mental dance we do between depression, anger, anxiety, insanity, and lying to ourselves that everything is fine. The duo recorded with platinum certified producer engineer Nigel Asselin at NYG Studios in Vancouver. They took full advantage of the array of vintage synthesizers available to them to lock in the analog sounds of the 80s that would define Evil Tongues. Their debut single, Fine, was mixed by Juno Award-winning engineer Kevin Dietz in Toronto and mastered by Grammy Award-winning Emily Lazar and Chris Allgood at the Lodge Mastering in NYC.
Wow.
A good write-up.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so it deserved to be promoted. I liked the write-up a lot. I thought it was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I almost picked this one last week.
Yeah.
When it first was submitted.
Must have been like a toss-up then, hey?
It was a real toss-up.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of promote the mental health song first.
Yep.
And yeah, this is super fun, man.
Cool.
I'm actually eagerly looking to see what else they're gonna bring out because
Nice.
I want more of these guys. It takes me
Cool.
back to like a Depeche Mode, 80s synth pop kind of style music,
Right.
and I think
Yeah.
that's super cool.
Cool.
And
Bringing it back.
I think a lot of people are gonna like it. They hear it, so
Yeah.
it's unique, it's different, and this is Fine by Evil Tongues.
You pulled the plug, the lights went black. My whole world suddenly collapsed. The floor torn from under me. A way of life bent to the past. Decisions forced from outside of my grasp. Felt like I couldn't breathe. Like a tidal wave that just washed away all the plans I made, left me lying to myself. And the sun looks pretty dim from down here on the floor. No more hustle, no more bustle. I'm not moving anymore. I'm not getting ahead as my future falls behind. Only thing that I can say is I'm fine.
What do you
Sweet.
think, man? What do you think?
That's pretty cool, man.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I like their vibe.
It feels very
Like a lot.
80s. It feels
It
very
does.
80s. It feels like it could be on a soundtrack of a movie. I got like a Tron vibe as I was hearing it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the energy of like the Tron soundtrack.
Have you ever watched Stranger Things?
No, I'm the
I
last
know.
person to not watch
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
No,
So there you go. For all the
I-
40 shows I've told you have to
Yeah,
watch it. You're a
exactly.
psychopath for not watching it.
I know.
I haven't watched Stranger Things, so
Yeah,
I
but
will
it's-
watch it.
It's that kind of
Did it
vibe.
feel
is-
like
is
Stranger
kinda
Things
what
to you?
it's giving me, but I mean, like Stranger Things. I'm not an expert on it. I don't even remember the last time that I watched it. Like a couple years back, I guess. At this point, but
I might even fire it up tonight. I'm not gonna lie to you, and then maybe I'll check in next week.
But yeah,
with the
it's-
Stranger Things, Kevin Stranger
cool.
Things. Actually, I'm gonna start watching Stranger Things, and I'll have a weekly Kevin
Wow,
Stranger
you
Things
are-
update segment.
wow, committed now.
Yeah, why not?
I like it.
Hey, I've been waiting.
I
I've
like
been waiting
it.
for
I
a
will
good reason to
100%
watch Stranger Things.
Ask you next week about it then.
Stranger Things update segment. Book it. Episode 7 is gonna have our first Kevin Stranger Things update segment.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna turn
Done.
into the show review
Why not?
talk show.
Hey man,
That's what it's gonna
just
be.
got some
How many
feedback.
how many shows this week have you personally given me, dude? to
okay,
watch
that you haven't watched
How many
yet?
yesterday? Let's just talk about yesterday. How many last night did you ask me to start watching?
Yeah.
I think Yellowstone was on
Yeah,
there.
when we were playing Red Dead.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Ozark was on there.
Ozark is on there. Rob said you got to watch Breaking Bad, which I agree.
Yeah, that's on there. Which,
Breaking Bad's
which
a
I'm
top.
pretty sure I've watched at least the first season, but
Well, if you're not
Oh,
remembering
Game of
it,
Thrones
then
is
you're
on
missing
there?
out. Game of Thrones was
talked about
mentioned
that.
last night. Yeah, absolutely. I said Ozark you should watch first.
yes.
Oh, I started watching. I watched the first 3 episodes of Tam and Pommy Lee.
I'm like, what?
Tam and Pommy Lee. The first 3 episodes of Pam and Tommy Lee is the name of the show about Tommy Lee, the drummer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Man, I've like never even heard of this before.
Oh yeah, Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee made a sex tape in 1995.
Yeah.
And it got leaked to like everybody, and then tons of people bought it. And
I think I agreed too eagerly there.
it's yeah. You're like, oh yeah, I know that. I know that sex tape.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But that show is on. It's actually on Disney Plus in Canada.
Whoa.
But it's on Stars. But it's actually kind of funny because
All
like
right.
it's really graphic.
no.
It's really graphic, and like there's even a scene where like he's having a conversation with his dick, and his dick's just like talking back to him and stuff.
All right.
Like, and you see it though, like you actually see it.
Oh my God.
On Disney Plus, it like Sebastian could just click on the
Disney
dad
Plus.
profile by accident,
What are they
and boom, we
doing?
could watch. Well, it's on Stars, right? It's not actual
Yeah, I guess
Disney.
so.
So they're doing
It's
more
just associated
adult
with it.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
guess so.
through their thing, but it's
I
an
think
amazing
Murderville
show, guys.
was also one of the shows. Murderville.
I was trying to remember the name of
Which
the show
is,
Rob talked about.
Yeah, the new one on Netflix.
Yeah, I'll watch that too. But now I got my project, so I'm gonna have to start dipping into.
Yeah, so
Stranger
these were all
Things.
shows that you told me to start watching last night.
That's true. Yeah. Hey man, you got to pick something and just ride it out, and then once
Gotta
you
pick
commit
your
to
battles.
a show, then we can have our weekly John
Show update.
Yeah, John show update. So I mean, hey. We had a couple people today. One person in particular was having a conversation with me, Dustin, and he was telling me all about how he kind of tunes out during some of the music background.
Yeah.
Because he's like, that's not my world.
Yeah.
But he likes when we talk about sports. He likes when we talk about pop culture stuff. So I would like to think that more than anything, yes, is a diary of an indie band because we're an indie band and it's our diary of our lives. So it's not how to be in an indie band. It's not an instructional thing.
It's not like this is the first step, right?
Yeah.
It goes back to what we were talking about at the start of the episode.
People have different paths that work for them.
Absolutely.
With us, what all we want with this, our biggest goal is if we can help those music segments like we just did, if we can help promote, a couple bands, a couple people along the way. It doesn't matter if we have 20 people listening to any episode or 20,000. If we can just get 20 extra ears or 20,000 extra ears listening to someone's music, we would appreciate that kind of exposure. And we're more than happy to do that on a weekly basis. All we ever have asked, just so we're transparent, we've only ever asked from anybody that submits the songs to us is just promote it on your end. Just tell people about the podcast. Tell them about
Share
Loops.
it.
That's
Always
all we
helps.
ask because it helps get our name out there too. So everybody benefits, right? But I mean, beyond doing that, that's obviously that is something that's smart for us from a business standpoint. It benefits everybody, but it's also us just wanting to do our mission statement as a band, which is help other bands too.
Absolutely.
Beyond that, I mean, we just want people to get to know us. So
For sure.
part of them getting to know us is my candid reviews on each episode on what I've watched recently in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't mind filling in on that. That'd be fun.
Sure. That all being said, thank you again to our two picks this week.
Absolutely.
Peter McMaster, you can find him on Instagram, Pieces of Peter. Look up his song Home on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your tunes. And also look up Evil Tongues.
Yes.
Which is...
Same thing, Evil Tongues on Instagram. As what we always do, when you are hearing this, there should already be an Instagram post up on our Instagram feed. It's going to have all the information about what we talked about throughout the episode, highlights, and it's also going to have the links of our two artists for this week.
Yeah.
And people like Jeremy Nishaw, because we talked about Jeremy Nishaw. So if we talk about a business or an artist, we're going to put a little link for them so we get a little more exposure their way. And then as always on the Spotify links or wherever else you find it, even if now at this point, by the time you're listening to this in the future, future listener person, you might even just be going through our officialloops.com page because we're going to have, by the time this episode goes live, we're hoping we'll have our podcast tab ready to go on our webpage. Website, and there will be a specific page that's only dedicated in listing all the different podcast episodes. So,
And where you can find it.
on officialloops.com, and you will be able to see. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I thought you were asking me.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
where
we
you
just
can
went
find
over
it.
that. No, you can find it on Spotify. You can find it through the RSS feed.
Yes.
You can find it through Apple Podcasts, or as you like to call them, iPods.
Yes, the iPods, which is a sister
Yeah,
of iTunes. Yep, I
Yeah.
invented that. And I mean, and Google Music, like you'll be able to find it. Or sorry, you Music, you Play, right? YouTube Music.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
My joke, little fun joke there. So
Full of
anyways,
jokes.
thank you so much to both of you for submitting. Well, Peter didn't submit, but we did it because we love him. So,
Yeah.
Well, you did. We hope you guys check out their music. We hope you enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. So
Cool. We're going to roll into our top fives here.
we've made a little bit of a fine tune to the top 5 system.
We change it just a little bit. I think moving forward, we might do it something along this line, unless we decide otherwise.
Yes, but as of right
it's
now,
going to be the exact same, or it's going to be different.
Yes, it's going to be this way is basically what we, unless now John's changing his mind on the fly. But what we had decided is moving forward, we're going to still discuss our own individual top fives. The other guy's not going to know what the top fives are, but we're going to have a theme we're discussing that week. So give me your top fives of blank.
Yes.
And then we're going to give our own individual top fives, making out the list, but we're both going to know what the list is going to be made up of going into the
There will
podcast.
be a theme. Exactly
It just will keep it more concise. So you're not talking about your favorite venues ever to play, and I'm talking about my favorite golf moments, and you're talking about your favorite, Winnipeg Jets moments because you grew up a Winnipeg Jets fan, and I'm talking about my favorite, blues country singers. Like
Right.
It will stop it being a little disjointed.
All over the map, right?
But it will be fun because we're not going to know each other's answers, and we're going to discuss them, and you're going to get the heart of the segment, which is become one of the popular segments of the show. Everyone always says they enjoy the top five, so we hope you guys continue to enjoy them, and we want to hear people's top fives too. So the nice thing will be this way everyone can kind of compare to our answers to their own.
For sure. And I think especially this week we got a very specific theme as to what's going on kind of in the world, but we're not getting into anything weird and political. We're going to be talking about Olympics.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about the Olympics. And for me, I'm going to be talking about my favorite Olympic moments for this top five.
Well, we both are. We're talking about...
Are you going to be talking about your Olympic moments too? This is great.
Okay, we definitely didn't... We weren't on the same page.
That's fine.
Basically, this is going to be our top 5 Olympic moments.
Yes.
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 So...
But
I think you thought the idea was just going to be, let's make it top 5 of Olympics or top 5 of golf.
Top 5 Olympics.
And do anything you want to do with golf. Or okay, I got it. I
It's
think
not the 1992 Olympics, then I don't know why I'm even in this group.
why am I even talking anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
I think I think moving forward that will be the smoothest way. I guess we're doing this on the fly now, but hey, this is the fun of the podcast. So
Yeah.
I think what we should do is, as opposed to just saying let's talk about golf today or the top 5 of golf, instead of being that vague, let's say top 5 Olympic moments,
right.
top 5 blank moments, or top 5 venues, or it will be very specific. The top 5 name of the list will be specific, but both of our answers will be unique to our own opinions of what the top 5 is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think that's a bit better.
Even going back into some of these past weeks that we've recently had where we kind of already do this, but it's going to condense the top 5 so then we can still talk about other stuff. And
Well, it
joke
also
around
gives
and
lots
that
more
kind of
top
stuff,
5s
right?
to talk about. If
So
we
then
have
we are
specific.
doing half an hour on top 5s,
Exactly.
even though we love that.
Which is fine. We can do half an hour on top 5s. It's not like our shows are going long. So
No, exactly.
So top 5 Olympic moments is what we're going to talk about today. That's our top 5.
Absolutely.
What is your top 5 Olympic moments, John?
You know what? I want to hear yours first.
That makes me feel like you don't have any.
No. I
This
got a
was
list.
your idea to do Olympics.
I know. I got a list, and I
Okay.
feel like mine might be kind of close to yours, so I'm curious.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I had 4 that were super, super easy for me,
Cool.
and I've really kind of struggled on the 5th. It doesn't feel locked in, whatever it's going to end up being. So I'm kind of in the air even still about I don't even know if I have a locked in 5th, to be honest.
That's fine.
But I can give you my 4 easy in my top 5. And I have stories with them all. So first one easily jumps in my head the most is the golden goal with Sidney Crosby.
That was my number one.
Yeah.
No-brainer.
It's no brainer.
No-brainer.
So let's both talk about the golden goal then, I guess,
Let's
if we
do
both
it.
have it. So 2010, January. It was for me, I had already applied. I told this story, I think, on the pod already, but when I got Kamloops, it was only because I didn't get Whistler when I left Depot, left training.
Right.
I got posted to Kamloops. I wanted to get posted into Whistler so I could actually be at the Olympics for the 2010
Which would have
Olympics.
been cool.
Because it was spring 2009. So I didn't get it. But I was as dialed in on that Olympics as anybody. I was so fired up for the Olympics the whole time. And I actually got sick and had the flu. So all my friends were watching the Golden Goal game, the championship, last event of the whole 2010 Olympics. For anyone who doesn't remember or isn't a big sports fan, it was the final event of that Olympics. It was the men's hockey gold medal game, and it was Canada versus United States.
Yep.
It was in Vancouver, right downtown at the arena.
Yep.
And I was sick with the flu. All my friends were at the bar having the best time of their lives, and I was at home
I can
watching
imagine.
it by myself. And at the time, I had a roommate who was he was renting out a room, subletting from me, one of my rooms in my place. And he was nice enough to kind of keep me company. So I was laying on the couch, like just dead to the world.
Yeah.
And he was sitting over another chair on the other side of the room, trying not to get sick, but just we were watching together.
Yeah.
And I remember when Crosby scored the golden goal and the overtime goal to win the Olympics.
Yeah.
It was just pure bliss. Like just my heart was like, I was just losing my mind, and I forgot I was sick for like 20 minutes. I was like,
Oh, I'm sure.
like,
Yeah.
I was freaking out, and so was
Yeah.
he. And yeah, it was perfection. Sidney Crosby, I've been following him since he was a kid.
I'm like, who better? Who better
Of
to
all people.
score?
He's the guy of this generation. He was
Yeah.
the captain of the team. No, he
Absolutely.
wasn't. Sorry, I apologize. He wasn't even the captain of the team. He was the assistant captain of the team. He wasn't the captain.
Who's the captain?
The captain was Scott Niedermayer.
Niedermayer, yeah.
I know that. You know how I know that? Because I have that awesome jersey collection I don't think I've even referenced necessarily yet. But as you know, I have like 50 jerseys upstairs or something of basketball alone. And I have like 10 or 11 awesome hockey jerseys, maybe more. And one of my favorite jerseys is I have a replica of the golden goal jersey Crosby
Right.
was wearing.
Yeah.
So he's the assistant captain of that team. But
That's
yeah,
a crazy team, by the way. It was
unbelievable team.
I mean,
Unbelievable
obviously,
team.
whenever the NHL players are allowed to go to the
I
Olympics,
know,
the
and
team
that's a
is
shame
stacked.
they weren't there this Olympics. I
Yeah.
want to see Connor McDavid win.
Oh, I know.
And Stamkos was injured
But
for
you
that
know what?
one. Stamkos was injured for the next one.
You know what's, I would argue, almost as cool as like watching hockey at the Olympics is watching the World Cup of hockey. Do you remember that
Yep.
from like 2018? I want to say it was.
Yeah, no, not even that recently. It was 2016.
Was it 2016?
Yeah, it was. 'Cause
McDavid was in it.
They did. He was on Team North
Yeah,
America.
North America,
They-
because
they-
it was under like 22,
Yeah,
23.
22 and under. Yeah, and they do basically they do every other year, like every 2 years, opposite,
Yeah.
and every 4 years, but every 2 year opposite from the Olympics. So if the
Yeah.
Olympics are
Yeah, exactly.
in 2010, 2014,
Which is why
2018.
2024 is the next one that I
Exactly.
heard.
Yeah. So yeah, because the 2018 would have been an Olympic year.
Yeah.
Just like this year is an Olympic year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, what is your thoughts on the golden goal?
I remember
cover?
because I was like young, right?
Hey,
I was young,
yes, you
but
were.
like I was.
You're
I
probably in
was-
high school,
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
yeah, exactly. So
2010. Yeah, you're probably like 13, 14, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
right?
early into high school.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember it just being absolutely crazy, just like the hype around it, and everybody's like, you know, the buzz kind of like around like school or like wherever you're going. It's just such a cool vibe. Yeah, that's pretty much all that I can associate with it. I mean, it's not like it's, you know, at the same point in time like I would be right now.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like getting together with my friends or anything like that.
Yeah,
even,
but that being said, there's something to be said about those formative kind of high school years as like a sports fan or a music fan, and the memories and the experiences you build in those years sometimes end up just carrying you your whole life. Like I still don't know if I've had as great sports fan moments as I had when I was 13, 14, 15
Yeah.
in the mid 90s and
Yeah.
watching like Joe Carter and all these guys and like, you know, the Maple Leafs with Doug Gilmour and stuff. And like those are moments like I learned to be a sports fan during those moments. So those moments are
Right.
almost better.
yeah.
I think that's the same for everybody, right? When you're that age.
For sure. Yeah. Which is why like so many of these moments are either like from then or before.
Absolutely.
You
It
know?
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But these are our favorite Olympic moments, right? So my next three are actually you know what? I'll go back to I'll do another winter one. There's one more winter one. And I remember this when I was really younger. And he never ended up winning the gold that he should have won. But Elvis Stoico, I thought was so cool. And I remember he had like this awesome performance where he finished silver in the Olympics.
Canadian
And
figure skater.
he was awesome, man. And he was
Yeah.
so cool, though. He was like, just like he was kind of a cool dude. Like he seemed like a guy like you'd go have a beer with. Like he was a cool guy.
He taught like a figure skating camp out here in Kamloops 2 years ago or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That would have been cool to
Totally
meet him.
random.
Get
And
his autograph. That'd be so cool.
I was there. No, I wasn't at all.
I
But,
figure
yeah.
skate.
No, I was, yeah.
So yeah, he was super cool. Yeah, I think that was probably, I don't remember even the year, and I apologize. This is, like I said, this would be my fifth one. So if I had to pick a fifth, but I'll just say it now because that way I'm staying in the theme of Winter Olympics. So yeah, probably Elvis Stoico chasing that gold. And even though he didn't get the gold medal, that we still to this day, I don't think we've had a Canadian men's gold medal figure skater. It's been a thing that they've been chasing forever.
Wasn't there-
Kurt Browning didn't get it before Elvis Stoico. Then Chan didn't get it. Patrick Chan never got the gold. It's like a jinx.
Yeah.
It's like a curse right now.
Yeah, but
because
he
all these
was-
guys had multiple gold medals at the World Championships, but they never got it done at the Olympics. And it's almost become like the Canadian men's. We've had some of the best on the planet, and we haven't won it yet. So Stoico was the one I was like, he's going to win it. And he
I think at the last Olympics, though, I think that there was like it wasn't men's, but it was like the pairing. Yeah. I forget who it was. I forget their names. But I think that they won. But I mean, that's
the pairs. The pairs have won a bunch though. Like ice dancing, there was that famous moment where the French judge was like bribed by the Russian judge, right? And then the Canadian pair, that was pairs figure skating. I think that was in 2000 or something, and maybe 2002. And they ended up they got the they finished silver, and then they ended up getting awarded gold as well. And they shared the gold with the Russian team.
Right.
So yeah, we've been dominant with that, but yeah, we've never won the big one with men. So that would probably be it. There's other honorable mentions as well too, but
top 5 figure skating moments.
No, I don't.
Tanya Harding, where does she land?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan crying, "Why me?" Yeah. So anyway, so that would be in my top 5, I think, with Stoico, because I was just so fired up about that. And that's all withstanding me being a lifelong hockey fan. Maybe if they let Gretzky go in the shootout, then maybe we would have beat, Hasek. Actually, that's probably my number one non-Canada Olympic moment. Was definitely Hasek just destroying the world and winning the Olympic gold for Czech team in '98. Yeah. That was awesome. But anyways, staying focused, my other 3 are Summer Olympics. One from the '96 Summer Olympics, before your time, but you probably know this one.
That's fine.
It's probably on your list, maybe.
Yep.
It's on my wall.
Maybe.
John knows. Being my roommate for the last couple of years, on the stairwell to go upstairs to me and Sebastian's area of the house, all the way up the stairwell, I have like this wall of fame of 8x10s and 6x8s of like the best sports moments of all time. And I have one of these moments on there, and that's Donovan Bailey winning the men's 100-meter dash and setting the world record 9.84 seconds in the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. I watched it in my living room. I think I watched it with my buddy Dustin, I'm pretty sure, but I watched it in the living room. I was so stoked. I watched it live.
Cool.
This is before PVRs. This is before anything. This is where you had to put on NBC and watch it, or you read about it in the newspaper. Yeah. So that was awesome. And then the last 2 are both actually from the 2008 Summer Olympics. And I sold my whole DVD collection probably 7-8 years ago, if not longer. Actually, yeah, maybe even more, when everything went digital.
Yeah.
But I still have probably 4 or 5 DVDs that I've always kept and never got rid of because they were so special to me. One of them I think is down there, and it's the 2008 Olympic Games recap.
Whoa.
And I have that DVD still.
Nice. Because
Usain Bolt arrived on scene, and he did 9.63 seconds in the 100-meter dash, broke the record by 20 milliseconds. It was unreal. How fast he was and how incredible Usain Bolt was. So Usain Bolt setting that 100-meter dash record and just dominating 2008 Olympics. And if I had something that sniffs and barely almost is as good as the golden goal, it was watching Michael Phelps go 8 for 8 in the Olympics in 2008. It was in Beijing. He won all 8 events he was entered. He set a world record in 7 of them. And one of my top 5 probably favorite sports moments ever was watching Jason Lezak in the relay, the 4x100 men's medley, I believe it was. And Lezak had the final leg, and he was the oldest guy on the team. He was 34 or something at the time.
Right.
Which is old for swimmers.
Yeah.
And they were trailing by a quarter of the pool length. I don't know if you've ever watched this race, and if you haven't, I'll show it to you. Yeah. They were trailing by a quarter of the pool length. And everyone knew Phelps' his chase for 8 golds was going to fail if they lost.
Yeah.
And they were chasing the world record holding world championship team that was in the lead. And Lezak just charged. I'm getting goosebumps right now remembering it. And he beat him just by a hair of an inch, touched it sooner.
Wow.
That was just all-time moments. And those, the Olympics is incredible, man. I could talk about the Olympics all day. It's the spirit of competition at the highest level. These people spend their whole lives to get to that point.
Absolutely.
As 2 guys that are literally making our whole lives mission, chasing a dream, we can appreciate as much as anybody, right? So I love the Olympics. I think this is a great theme you picked this week. What are your 5 other than, golden goal?
Yeah. Well, no, I just want to touch on that super quick. I think that, that's an awesome list. I mean, I had a couple of those come to my mind as well. Definitely, Michael Phelps chasing 8,
Right.
Was definitely a big one. And I think it was 2016 when he broke the record, 2012?
Which
all time.
Oh, the all-time. Yeah, it would have been 4 years later at in London.
Yeah, it was one or
London
the
in
other, yeah.
2012. He did it both, actually. You are right. 2016 was his last go, and I think he got like the all-time, maybe either a cumulative record for medals or most golds won lifetime. Like it was
might
like
have been
16
golds,
or
yeah.
something, because he had a bunch of silvers and bronzes in there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he broke it on 2 different, like the next medal, the next one in 2012 is when he got like the all-time medals, and then the next one, yeah.
Yeah. So I've got lots in here. And even more now that I'm thinking about it, like,
Cool. That's
as we
awesome.
go. But
I started remembering even more as I was talking
exactly, right? But I'll keep it to my list here, which I'm pretty stoked with. So
Cool.
the next one on my list, because we already talked about the golden goal.
Yep.
Is the Dream Team. 92.
God, I'm embarrassed. What?
92, man.
I'm changing my list.
Do you want me?
I'm taking off Elvis Stoico and I'm putting on the 92. I see. This is why I wanted you
Yeah,
to go
exactly.
first.
I know, right? But but
man.
that's the thing, right? The
And
Dream
I
Team
lived it,
for-
man. You weren't even alive yet,
No.
so I respect your sports
Man, 1,
knowledge
2,
for that. But
3, actually, my other 4 are from before I was born.
holy moly! Well,
Sorry.
I'm embarrassed though because I watched
And,
the 92
yeah,
Olympic
none of
Dream
them
Team.
are
Like they were
obviously
larger
what he
than
picked.
life for me and my buddy Matt Robinson, and we were just, man. Oh man.
So in the group play where they had 5 games. So for anybody who doesn't know, we're talking about the 92
men's
Olympic
basketball.
US basketball team.
It was the first time ever that, if I can interject, first time ever
Absolutely.
that pro athletes were allowed to be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
For men.
Yep. And US finished like 7th or something like that in the Olympics before it.
Yeah, because what they would have is they would have the best college basketball players, which were all great, and they were all future NBA stars.
But there were
Michael
other
Jordan played in the
leagues and
Olympics
stuff
in
like that.
1984, right before he got drafted. A long list of guys had played in the Olympics, but there's a difference between being a really good college player and playing against a team of guys from Russia or Slovakia, right? Or
Or
different
playing professionally.
who play professionally all year long in
All
their
year-
country. And this
that's
is
what they
before they
train
would
for.
even come to,
Yeah.
this is before they would go to the NBA even. So these guys were world-class athletes.
Yeah.
And they're a team, right? There's something to be said about a team and not just a collection of talented players.
So some of those
This was both.
It was-
92 was both.
bonkers.
They were a
how
collection of the
crazy it
most
was.
talented players ever, and they were also a team.
Some of those guys on this list, I'm sure that you know most.
I know
of
the
them,
whole list. I
right?
bet you actually.
Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, Magic Johnson,
Yeah.
Larry Bird,
Yeah.
Charles Barkley,
Yep.
Scottie Pippen,
Yep.
Karl Malone.
Yep. If you forget David Robinson, Matt Robinson's not going to be very happy.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
He was
the other
on it.
Robinson.
Did you say Larry Bird?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, of course.
Charles Barkley was probably I have a lot of tidbits I can give you about this whole thing.
Oh, I know.
Charles Barkley was probably the best player of the whole tournament. It put him at the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, not even Michael. Even Michael will say Barkley leveled up.
Yeah.
And it was a leveling up moment for Barkley. He went, and after that tournament, the next season he played with Phoenix, the Phoenix Suns. They went to the NBA Finals, took Michael Jordan's Bulls to 6 games.
Wow.
Barkley was the MVP of the whole NBA. He went to another level in his career because he realized I belong with all these amazing guys. Fun fact, the whole team got put into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
As a team.
Yeah.
But because it's the Naismith Hall of Fame, it's not just the NBA Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan, all those guys, there's 12 guys on that team. 11 of them made the Hall of Fame eventually. One guy didn't make the
crazy.
Hall of Fame. Do you know who it is?
Is it Jackson?
No. It was Christian Laettner,
Oh,
who was the best player in college basketball. But they were going to draft Shaq, but they had so many big guys on their team. They were
Right.
going to put Shaq on the team. They wanted one college guy.
Yeah.
In the spirit of the Olympics, because it was the first time with pros, right? So they wanted one non-pro. So they
Right.
picked Christian Laettner. He never made the Hall of Fame. If they picked Shaq, then it would have been 12 for 12.
Yeah,
Crazy, eh?
absolutely crazy. All right, so next on my list is from 1996. Also another USA athlete who was 18 years old at the time.
I wonder if I can guess this. What sport?
Um,
A bunch of sports?
no, gymnastics.
Oh. Gymnastics?
I think it's Carrie Strug is her last
Oh,
name.
Carrie Strong. Carrie Strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carrie
Yeah.
Strong ended up like breaking her leg or something.
Yep.
Yes.
In the vault.
Yes. 100%.
And then she went on with an injured ankle and
Yeah, absolutely.
won
she did.
gold.
Yeah, she did.
She won gold. She was
did.
literally carried off.
Yeah.
So I think just
That's so cool, you know, that moment. That's an amazing
watching the
moment.
video of that
Yep.
is so emotional that I think that's why it cracked into my top 5. I think that actually being able to watch that now is such a privilege that were able to experience that. I think that I had to put it on there just for that.
Absolutely.
Another one kind of along the same lines here. Derek Redmond, 1992.
Oh, is it Canada or I'm
USA.
I don't even know that name.
So you probably know the video. I would say that this is the most emotional moment. But he was running in, I don't want to mess up what it was, but I want to say it was like the 400 meters or something like that.
Oh, I think I might actually heard of this story, but
And
tell the story. Yeah.
He pulled his hamstring
Yeah.
as he was making like the last turn,
Yeah.
and he wasn't able to like move, but he kept on going. He kept on going. I'm getting chills like as I'm talking about it, but like he kept pushing forward, determined to cross the finish line.
Wow.
And his dad runs out of the stands past security.
Helped him. And then you like help him kind of limp across the line.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For like the last like 50 or 60
Anyone
meters.
that's listening to
like
this,
that.
even if you're not a sports fan, I mean, this is Olympics. It's not just Canada or anything. So go check that out. It's a legendary moment. Yeah.
Such a cool moment.
Well, it's just a great moment between father and son,
Absolutely.
right? Like just
Yeah.
the he knew that this is his only moment probably, and he's never maybe going to be
That's
back
exactly
in the Olympics.
it,
So he
right?
wanted to just finish
He
that
qualified
race.
for
He wanted
that,
to
like-
finish the race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is the ultimate just spirit of drive and competition and passion.
And the spirit of the Olympics.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what makes sports
it's
amazing.
Your pure will. You know, that's
Exactly.
going to get you there, which, you
Love
know,
it.
we tie into every day
Just
with
with
Loops.
us. That was an awesome choice. I love that choice.
My last one, I might be wrong if this is even considered a moment, but I'm pretty sure it is because I did a little bit of research before, but not a whole bunch.
I can tell.
But I believe, and tell me if I'm wrong,
Okay. Yeah.
but Miracle on Ice was a part of the Olympics.
100% it was. Yes. So do you
1980.
yes.
1980, USA.
Yeah. Lake Placid it was actually in Lake Placid.
Yeah. In the States.
Yep. They hosted the Olympics that year.
Yeah.
And do you want to talk about it? Do you
No,
want me
I
to-
love the way that you're telling the story, dude.
Thanks, dude. Russia was the men's Russian hockey team. They were unbeatable. They'd won multiple gold medals. They were just a juggernaut. And this team, led by Herb Brooks, who's in the Hall of Fame, as he was their coach, he just got this team of like scrappy college kids. There's no pros at this point, like John had mentioned earlier, in any of the sports. Mike and Ruzietti, all these guys, Jim Craig, their famous goaltender. These guys never became anything in the pros. It's funny. Actually, it's funny you said that because one of my favorite all-time podcasts, which I haven't shouted out yet, but I will give some love ever to it once in a while, but is by the Ringer Network, by Bill Simmons Ringer. And it's called The Rewatchables. John, I've played a bunch of different episodes for you over the years on road trips and stuff. I know I have. A lot of people listening. Shout out Jeff Beauchene, one of my best friends. He listens all the time to The Rewatchables. We listen to them together. They do shows that have a lot of replay value. Like, sorry, not shows, but movies. Yeah. And they'll take it and they'll break down an hour and a half long episode of their podcast just talking about any particular movie and what makes it rewatchable. They just very recently talked about Miracle, which is Kurt Russell is in it, and it's the actual movie of the 1980 Miracle on Ice. The best player on there, they forgot to mention, though, I'm fact checking their podcast, is they didn't mention Neil Broughton in their best players. Neil Broughton actually did become, I think he was a Hall of Famer or a borderline Hall of Famer. He scored like 1,000 points in the NHL. He was a really good player for the Minnesota North Stars. So he was on the team. But other than that, there was a bunch of nobodies. And just by pure, like you said, force of will, determination, they beat the Russians and won the gold medal. Now, the cool thing is the Miracle on Ice game wasn't actually for the gold medel. A lot of people don't know that. It was in the semis. Yeah. And then I think it was Sweden or something. They crushed the next round. Finland. Yeah, they destroyed them. But they were, it was such a miracle. The famous call, "Do you believe in miracles?" by Al Michaels. Yeah. I'm getting goosebumps just remembering it. It's worth the movie watch, guys. We're talking about shows we're going to watch. I challenge everybody out there. If you haven't watched Miracle yet, watch it. If you like it, comment on DIB's Spotify page, or I don't know, there's a way you could do it. Maybe send us an email.
Let us know your top 5. Let us know if you want us to talk about any specific top 5s in the upcoming weeks as well.
Yeah, I would love to hear somebody's top 5 Olympic moments, even if it's one of my friends that are just listening that I know check in all the time.
There's so many out there that
Jeff Beauchene, tell us your top 5 and we'll read it on the air next week.
We're gonna call you out.
We'll read it over the pod.
Yeah.
Awesome choice, dude.
Yeah, I think that was a cool little change up.
It was a change up. I'm gonna really quickly, because I won't get a chance to do it again, and then we're gonna wrap up the ep here. I'm I want to just give my music movies because we're not going to just redo that topic for a long time,
Exactly.
obviously, because you just did it last week.
Yeah.
But now that we do have the new format where we're going to give a title like top 5 music movies, and we'll both discuss it. I would be remiss by not mentioning my top 5 just because it was so relevant. Really quickly, Popstar, Don't Ever Stop, Never Stoppin'. We talked about it last week. Yesterday is on mine.
There we go.
Inside Llewyn Davis is on mine. Across the Universe is on mine.
Yeah.
And one that you might not know is 8 Mile with Eminem.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Of course I know the movie.
No, I just didn't know you might not know it was on my list.
Yeah. No, I probably wouldn't have guessed that one on your
No,
list.
because the honorable mention, I had it on my list, but then I was like, no, I got to put 8 Mile on, was Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story,
Yeah,
which I think is one of the funniest movies ever.
Yeah.
But 8 Mile just motivates me more than Walk Hard makes me laugh. And 8 Mile, Walk Hard makes me laugh a lot. So, new top 5, new kind of spirit to it. We hope you guys liked it. Ran a little long, but that's okay. I enjoy it. Top 5 is one of my funnest segments.
Absolutely.
So give us your top 5s. We would love to. Right now, we've mentioned Kelly, my cousin. We've mentioned her top 5.
Yeah.
That she gave us one time. I'd love to hear people's more top. Even if it's the same person every week and they're the only one chiming in. Cool. Eventually, I'd like
Let
to
us know.
Yeah, I'd like to know what people's top 5s are. To be honest, or especially now that we're going to be giving you the same top 5 ourselves.
Yeah.
Our version of whatever that top 5 is.
Yeah.
I'd like to compare it to our listeners too. What is your top 5 of the top 5 Olympic moments?
Absolutely.
Maybe we found, maybe there's a couple that we forgot. Just like I
I'm
forgot
sure
about the
that
men's
there are.
Olympic team.
I'm sure.
It'd be cool to be like, oh
Yeah.
man, I can't believe I didn't think of that one, and we'll mention it on the air. So
For sure.
so we're gonna wrap this up here now with our upcoming what we're looking forward to this week stuff. We had kind of mentioned how we were going to be getting ready and promoting and getting the album, album release party all ready to go and hype that up a bunch. So that's a big thing we're going to be doing.
Special edition merch.
Yes.
Right.
So I was
We
going
had
to wait for you to
circle-
mention it.
Yeah,
We're circling back.
Circle back to that.
Tell us about the special edition merch.
Well, do you want me to tell them what's going to be on it?
Yeah, sure, man. Let's let them know. I think.
We're gonna.
I'm excited about it.
Making at least T-shirts.
Yes, absolutely. T-shirts are going to be run of minimum 50.
Stickers and
If we
stuff
end up
like that.
selling a bunch more tickets and we get cleared and we can have 100 people at the show,
Yeah.
we'll make more shirts. But at the minimum of what we're anticipating, we're going to have 50 shirts, and each shirt is going to be numbered.
Yeah.
So if they're collector's edition, if you have number 6 out of 50, that's it. Like there was only 50 made. Just to add the kind of the fun of the occasion. And
Of course. Yeah.
honestly, it'll make me happy if I get, and if there's a specific number you like, you have a lucky number, you're going to have to let us know early so we can put that aside for you.
Absolutely.
Or else someone else is going to snag your number.
Yep.
Matt, I'm talking to Matt because number 50 is his favorite number.
There we go. Yeah.
So tell us what's on it.
Yeah, but we're gonna have the cover of the album is gonna be on the front, and then we're gonna have the song order on the back,
Just
with
like the
each
back of
song.
the CD.
Exactly. It's gonna look super, super sick. Gonna be
it's gonna
so
super
cool.
And it's going to say album release party
February 25th, 2022.
Yeah, so it's a special. We love our merch. Don't get us wrong. Everybody, we're blown away and humbled constantly by how popular our merch is.
It is, yeah.
But it is fun to change it up too and do something a
sure.
little different. And
Absolutely.
I think people are really going to like these shirts. They're going to be super cool. And you can only get them by going to the album release party.
Yeah.
And if you can't make it because you live out of town, but you want one of the special shirts, that's okay.
Message us.
Message us because I know I have a lot of family that live in England and stuff that literally can't come here just for that party.
Yeah.
Shoot us a message and get one of those 50 first because they're going to be gone.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing that in like a special package. We haven't locked down the exact price yet. But it's not going to be too costly. We're thinking at most $30 and you'll get like a shirt.
Copy of the album.
A copy of the album for yourself, and then some other kind of a fun throw-in item of something, stickers or something like that. So more TBD, more details on that to come. But that's one thing that's a big focus of this week beyond our regular grind that we always talk about. Getting dates out there and locking down more shows, networking. I actually have a side project that I'm working on just to kind of populate our list as much as I can and find more venues that we're not aware of yet. So I'm going to be updating our Excel spreadsheets on that. That's a big goal of mine this week.
Yep.
And then obviously though we're going to start really putting our heads down and planning and making sure this party and this event is fantastic. It's one we'll remember a long time.
Yeah, which is going to be a big thing for my role this week, right? Even further than obviously booking gigs and all that kind of stuff and booking festivals, because I've got a big list of festivals that I got to reach out to and whatever else.
Well, yeah, and Doug's reaching out to them in advance, right? So we're looking forward to your message.
But yeah, even beyond all that is the album release and getting like all the dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's.
There's a lot of minutia to it.
getting the lights figured out,
Exactly.
physical tickets, all this kind of stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah,
So-
the cool thing about it too is it's not going to be a typical loop show where we like to mix covers and fun little requests on the fly and stuff. This is going to be after Jeremy plays his part. We're gonna have a short break, so that way Jeremy's gonna have merch there too, and he's got some cool merch as well. So I hope people pick up some of that as well, and people can meet Jeremy and let him know how great a job he did. Maybe get him to sign some merch, whatever. And then we're gonna come on and we're actually gonna play all 11 tracks from the album.
Yeah.
Maybe for the only time ever in exactly. Actually, I can almost guarantee you we probably won't do it like that again. And it will be song 1 straight through song 11.
Yeah.
We'll take breaks between each song. We'll chat with the audience, let people know kind of stories about it, just like we always do at any show. The whole reason why we do a podcast, because we love, kind of sharing our stories and stuff. And then when we're done that, as a fun little thing at the end, we'll get Jeremy back up on the stage, I think, and till the end of the show, we're all just going to jam and have a fun time. And then we'll do the fun, play some requests.
It's going to be cool.
We're
It's
going to have
be
a fun.
tons of
It's
fun.
going to be a good time. So
Yeah.
but yeah, like you said, you got to dot the T's and cross the I's, right?
Yep. Dot the T's, cross the I's. You
yeah.
betcha, buddy.
So it's all the minutia to get it working right and make it run smoothly. But I'm excited, man. It's a lot
gonna
of
be
fun
awesome.
stuff coming up.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. We will keep everybody posted throughout this week.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to chat to people next week. We will.
Yeah, if you're listening to this and you haven't submitted a song yet, submit it to us. If you submitted one and you want a reconsideration or you have another one, a separate one, submit that as well. Shoot us emails, dib@officialloops.com. Make sure you check out our Spotify. We got checking out up there now. It's been up there just for over a week. Other than that, anything else you want to add, buddy?
That's pretty much it.
All right.
Reach out to us. Let us know anything.
There we go, guys. We hope to hear from you and let us know your top 5 as well. And until next week, keep on keeping on.
Have a good week, everyone.
Later, guys.